a child of a barbarian race that the entire universe must hunt and seek to destroy. They thought humans were frail, subdued remnants in the void, forever cowed by superior beings, until a lone captain uncovered a lie that would ignite the stars. In the year 2247, 2 centuries after the cataclysm of subjugation, humanity huddled in designated sectors, shadows of their former explorers. The cataclysm had erupted in 2197, a brutal clash where the Galactic Council, dominated by the enlightened Aethel, descended upon Earth. Fleets of gleaming ships, numbering in the thousands, bombarded orbital stations. Explosions ripped through the atmosphere, and cities vaporized in seconds. Billions perished in the first wave, skies filled with debris that rained fire for weeks. Survivors whispered of the Aethel's civilizing beams, energy pulses that disrupted human tech, forcing surrender. The Council declared it necessary to tame a volatile species. Now humans patrolled fringes, forbidden from core worlds, their ships' relics monitored constantly. Captain Saria Vance stood on the dim bridge of the Odyssey, an aging patrol vessel barely 300 meters long. Her frame was slender, almost fragile, but her eyes were sharp, scanning holographic displays. Scars faded on her hands from old surgeries. She wore a worn command uniform, a copper bracelet dangling from her wrist, a memento from lost kin. Once a brilliant Earth surgeon, Saria had fled to space after a probe crash claimed her family 10 years prior. Post-traumatic stress disorder haunted her, visions of endless black triggering panic. Yet duty anchored her. The signal pierced the quiet at 0300 hours, a faint intermittent pulse from the Kuiper Belt, 30 AU distant. Saria leaned forward, fingers tracing the console. "Amplify that," she ordered, voice steady despite the crew's unease. Lieutenant Mara, her second in command, a stocky woman with cropped hair, frowned at her station. "Captain, it's garbled. It could be debris interference. The belt's a graveyard." Saria's gaze hardened. "Or a distress call. Protocol demands we check." The crew of 12 shifted uncomfortably. Ensign Torres, young and wiry, spoke up. "Ma'am, we're low on fuel. That's a 2-day burn at max thrust, and the Council warns against unsanctioned ventures." Whispers rippled. They knew the risks. Patrols meant observation, not intervention. Saria felt the familiar dread, space's vastness, pressing like a vice. But the signal tugged, a plea in the dark. "I've made my decision. Plot course." Odyssey hummed to life, engines groaning from years of neglect. Bulkheads creaked as acceleration pressed them back. Saria monitored vitals, her medical background kicking in, ensuring crew stability. Hours blurred into routine checks, but tension built. The belt loomed, icy rocks tumbling in slow chaos. At 48 hours in, sensors locked on the source. A wrecked vessel materialized on screens, organic curves twisted, half alive, half machine, spanning 200 meters. Hull pulsed faintly like dying veins. "Not human design," Mara noted, voice tight. Saria nodded. "Zoran, perhaps. Scans show life signs. One faint." The name hung heavy. Zorans, per Council edicts, were barbarians, aggressors eradicated for galactic peace. Crew murmured protests. "We should report and withdraw," Torres urged. Saria's jaw set. "Deploy the away team. Suits on." She led the boarding, mag boots clanking on the alien deck. Air hissed thin, emergency lights flickering. Debris floated, crystalline shards glinting. They navigated corridors grown like vines and organic matter decayed. In the core chamber, amid shattered pods, lay the boy. Kalen curled fetal, skin gray-blue with glowing veins pulsing weakly, eyes amber, no whites wide with terror. Wounds gaped on his side, biosuit torn. He was slender, adolescent, perhaps 14 in human years. Saria knelt, scanner humming. "He's stable, but hypothermic. We need to extract." Mara hesitated. "Captain, a Zoran? The Council will crucify us." Saria met her gaze. "He's a child. We don't abandon the wounded." Kalen flinched at their approach, emitting a low keen. No words, but Saria felt a brush, emotions raw, fear and pain flooding her mind. Telepathy, subtle. She extended a gloved hand. "Easy, We're here to help. He recoiled, then stilled, veins dimming. The team lifted him gently, carrying him back to Odyssey's bay. As docking clamps engaged, a new alert blared. Council transmission automated. Zoran contact detected. Quarantine and report. Non-compliance is treason. Saria ignored it, directing medbay prep. Kaelin lay on the table, monitors beeping. She administered sedatives, stitching wounds with precise hands. Vitals improving. He'll live. But as Odyssey pulled away from the wreck, shadows stirred. The signal's echo lingered, a harbinger. Saria watched the stars, bracelet cool against skin. Her oath as captain to protect now clashed with galactic law. The crew watched her, divided. Torres muttered, "This could end us all." Saria's voice cut through. "Or save something worth saving." Kaelin stirred, eyes opening. A faint image projected in her mind, a world aflame. She gasped, the connection snapping. What horrors had he fled? The void held secrets, and Saria had just plunged deeper. The ship accelerated, Kuiper fading. Fuel at 60%, course set for neutral space. But pursuit loomed unseen. Saria paced the bridge, mind racing. Her past traumas surfaced, but her resolve hardened. Humanity's subjugation taught caution, yet here was defiance. Mara approached. "Captain, incoming hail. Council relay." Saria waved it off. "Log it. We're committed now." Kaelin's presence shifted the dynamics. Crew avoided medbay, whispers of curses, but Saria sat beside him, speaking softly. "You're safe here." He touched her arm, veins glowing soft. Gratitude flowed, wordless. In that moment, barriers cracked. The galaxy's lies began unraveling, one signal at a time. Odyssey sliced through darkness, a relic defying fate. Saria's decision, born of compassion, ignited a chain. The cataclysm's scars ran deep, but humanity's spark endured. Saria Vance knelt in Odyssey's cramped medbay, a 10 by 15-foot room lined with flickering monitors and outdated equipment. Kaelin lay on the steel table, gray-blue skin marred by jagged wounds. His amber eyes darted, veins pulsing faintly. Saria's gloved hands moved swiftly, scanner humming over his injuries. She activated the auto-suture, stitching gashes with precision from her surgical past. Antiseptics hissed, filling the air with a sterile tang. "Stabilize his vitals," she ordered Ensign Torres, who hovered nearby, gripping a med pad. Torres tapped the screen. "Pulse weak, 40 beats. Hypothermia's bad." "Raise the thermal unit to 30 degrees, Saria said, adjusting a drip. Her copper bracelet glinted under the dim lights. 3 hours passed, monitors beeping steadily. Kaelin's breathing eased, chest rising rhythmically. He stirred, a low hum escaping his lips. Saria leaned closer, catching a flicker in her mind. Flashes of a burning world. Screams silent but vivid. Telepathy, raw and unrefined. She steadied herself, suppressing a shiver from her own spaceborne fears. "He's communicating. Keep him calm." Torres frowned. "Captain, he's Zoran. The council says they're savages." Lieutenant Mara burst through the door, her cropped hair damp with sweat. "Crew's on edge. Half want him off the ship. Now." Saria didn't look up, securing a bandage. "He's a patient, not a prisoner. Tell them to stand down." Mara hesitated, then nodded. She exited, boots clanging on the metal floor. Kaelin's hand twitched, brushing Saria's. Another image hit. Green skies, organic spires collapsing. Fear pulsed through her, his fear. She gripped his hand gently. "You're safe." The ship jolted, alarms blaring. Saria steadied herself against the table. Mara's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, to the bridge, now!" Saria secured Kaelin's straps and sprinted, arriving in the bridge's dim glow. Consoles flickered, showing 5 sleek Aethel ships, each 500 meters long, closing in at 500 kilometers. Their hulls gleamed silver, dwarfing Odyssey's rusted frame. The crew froze, hands hovering over controls. "Incoming hail," Torres reported, voice tight. A holographic figure materialized. Commander Reyes, tall, pale as moonlight, hair platinum and flawless. His white uniform shimmered, not a crease out of place. Captain Vance, he said, voice smooth, chilling. You harbor a dangerous specimen. Surrender it for containment. Saria's eyes narrowed. It's a child, injured. We don't hand over survivors. Rios tilted his head, smile faint. The Zoran are a threat to galactic order. Comply or face consequences. She studied him, noting the cold perfection. Her guts screamed distrust. The Council's propaganda labeled Zorans barbaric, but Kalen's fear told another story. We're not your pawns, Commander. Find another ship to bully. His smile vanished. Your defiance risks stability. This is your only warning. Saria cut the feed, screen going dark. Mara, prep engines. Full thrust. Mara's hands flew over the console. Fuel's at 58%. We can't outrun them long. Do it, Saria snapped. The bridge hummed, Odyssey lurching forward. Crew scrambled, securing stations. Torres muttered, this is suicide. Saria ignored him, scanning readouts. Divert power to rear shields. We're not fighting, we're running. Back in medbay, Kalen sat up, eyes wide. He pointed at the wall, veins glowing brighter. Saria returned, catching his gaze. Another image flashed. A fleet, not Zoran, but Aethel, burning his world. She froze, processing. You saw them, she whispered. The Aethel. Kalen nodded, a single word croaking out. Killers. Her jaw tightened. She activated the comms. All hands brace for evasive maneuvers. We're not giving him up. Odyssey's engines roared, pushing 0.8 C. The Aethel ships adjusted course, their sensors locking. A warning shot grazed the hull, shaking the ship. Saria gripped the console, mind racing. Her post-traumatic stress disorder flared. Space's vastness loomed in her thoughts, but she shoved it down. Kalen needed her. Mara shouted, they're closing. 300 clicks. Plot a course through the nearest asteroid field, Saria ordered. Use debris for cover. Torres hesitated. That's insane. We'll crash. Saria's voice turned steel. Do it, or we're dead anyway. The ship banked hard, diving toward a cluster of rocks 10,000 kilometers wide. Kalen's hand found hers again, trembling. She squeezed back, feeling his trust solidify. His veins pulsed, projecting calm now, not fear. Stay with me, she said, voice softening like a doctor soothing a patient. Rios's voice cut through again, uninvited. Captain, you cannot escape. Surrender the specimen, and we'll spare your crew. Saria muted him, focusing on the helm. Shields at 80%. Keep us steady. The crew worked in sync, years of drills kicking in. Odyssey weaved through the field, rocks pinging off the hull. Aethel ships followed, their precision unnerving. A second shot hit, lights flickering. Damage reports flooded in, port thruster at 60%. Saria glanced at Kalen's image in her mind, the Aethel's betrayal clear. They're not saviors, she muttered. They're hunters. She returned to the bridge, issuing commands. Torres, jam their sensors with a static burst. Buy us time. Torres complied, fingers dancing over controls. A pulse erupted, scrambling Aethel trackers for 30 seconds. Odyssey gained distance, now 700 kilometers ahead. Saria's mind churned. The Council's lies ran deeper than she'd thought. Kalen shuffled onto the bridge, bandaged but upright. Crew stared, uneasy. He pointed at the screen, where Aethel ships loomed. Light! False! He rasped, voice broken but clear. Saria nodded, understanding. Their civilization's a mask. We'll unmask it. Mara reported. Asteroid field's thinning. We're exposed soon. Find the nearest nebula, Saria said. We need cover. The crew executed, Odyssey banking toward a faint gas cloud, 2 AU away. Aethel ships adjusted, relentless. Saria's bracelet caught her eye, grounding her. She'd lost everything once. Not again. Kalen stood closer, veins dim but steady. His trust fueled her resolve. Odyssey's engines ignited to full burn, accelerating to 0.1 C in seconds. The ship plunged into the asteroid field, a 100-kilometer sprawl of tumbling rocks and ice shards. Saria Vance gripped the command console, eyes locked on the radar display. The outdated system pinged erratically, mapping debris paths in real time. Helm, weave through Sector Alpha 7. Avoid clusters over 50 meters, she commanded, voice clip. Lieutenant Mara executed the maneuver, thrusters firing in precise bursts. The crew activated decoy emitters, launching flares that mimicked Odyssey's heat signature. Bright plasma bursts scattered across the field, confusing Aethel sensors. Decoys deployed. 5 active, Torres reported, fingers flying over his panel. Kalen, strapped in a jump seat, closed his eyes. His veins glowed faintly, sensing energy fluctuations. Close. Left, he rasped, pointing. Saria adjusted course instantly, dodging an incoming Aethel probe by 20 meters. The probe exploded against a boulder, shrapnel rattling the hull. Commander Rias's fleet, 5 vessels in tight formation, pressed the attack. Their lead ship fired a warning salvo, energy bolts streaking through the vacuum. One grazed Odyssey's port side, missing by 200 meters but scorching the outer plating. Alarms wailed as systems compensated. Shields at 75%. Minor hull breach sealed, Mara announced. Odyssey clipped a small asteroid, the impact jarring the frame. The auxiliary engine sputtered, output dropping to 80%. Sparks flew from a console, but the crew isolated the damage with manual overrides. Reroute power from non-essentials. Keep us moving, Saria ordered. Humans adapted fast, their jury-rigged tech turning obsolescence into an edge. Aethel ships, pristine and automated, hesitated in the chaotic field, their algorithms struggling with unpredictable debris. Saria opened a channel. Commander Rias, cease fire. You're pursuing a child. Explain your orders. Rias's hologram flickered on screen, expression unchanging. The specimen threatens order. Surrender it, Captain. Saria leaned in. Threatens how? Your council's edicts hide something. We're not your executioners. Rias's voice remained even. Compliance ensures safety. Defiance invites elimination. She cut the link. Torres, boost jammer frequency. Blind their targeting. The crew complied, emitting a broadband pulse that disrupted Aethel lock-ons. Odyssey banked hard, using a large asteroid for cover. Thrusters pivoted the ship 180 degrees in a tight loop, a maneuver Aethel's rigid designs couldn't match. Human pilots trained in Earth's gravity wells exploited inertia with brutal efficiency. Kalen pointed again. Energy spike, incoming. 2 Aethel drones detached, weaving through rocks. Odyssey's point defense guns, relics from pre-subjugation wars, spat kinetic rounds. One drone was shattered in a fireball, and the other veered off damaged. Direct hit, Mara confirmed. Humans fought dirty, leveraging scrap against superior tech. Rias ordered escalation. His ships formed a pincer, firing coordinated bursts. Bolts lit the field, vaporizing small asteroids. Odyssey evaded, hull groaning under G-forces. A near miss overloaded a sensor array, but backups kicked in seamlessly. Fuel at 70%. We can't sustain this, Torres warned. Saria scanned the map. Push to the field's edge. Use gravity slingshot around that 2-kilometer rock. The crew executed flawlessly. Odyssey accelerated around the massive body, gaining a speed burst to 0.1 ton C temporarily. Aethel ships, bound by safety protocols, slowed to avoid collision risks. Humans ignored such limits, pushing machines to breaking points with calculated recklessness. 1 hour into the chase, Odyssey broke free of the field, debris cloud masking their exit. Aethel sensors lagged, their formation disrupted. We've got a window. Head for nebula coordinates, Saria said. The crew exhaled in unison, tools clattering as they secured stations. Damage control teams patched the auxiliary engine, welding plates under 0G. Unity forged in fire. Humans bonded through adversity, unlike Aethel's hierarchical drones. Rias's voice hailed again, unbidden. You delay the inevitable, Captain. Our fleet outmatches your relic, Saria responded. Outmatches in shine, maybe. But we've outrun empires before. She muted him, plotting the next leg. Odyssey's tech, patched and improvised, highlighted human ingenuity. Aethel relied on perfection. Humans thrived on chaos. The pursuit exposed it. Brutal efficiency born of Earth's wars, where survival demanded adaptation over elegance. Kalen monitored energies, his input integrated seamlessly. Safe, for now, he murmured. The ship stabilized, course locked. Fuel dipped, but options emerged. A distant sensor ping revealed a nebula pocket, ideal for hiding. Saria directed thrust adjustments, minimizing trail. Crew rotated shifts, repairing microfractures in the hull. Torres recalibrated weapons, loading hybrid munitions, human designs blending kinetic and energy for maximum disruption. Ethel's weapons were precise but predictable. Humans added variables. As the nebula loomed, Rias's ships regrouped, scanning wide. Odyssey slipped into the gas fringes, emissions masked. The chase paused, but tension held. Humans had bought time, proving their edge in asymmetrical warfare. Saria reviewed logs, noting Ethel patterns. They telegraph moves. We exploit that. Mara nodded. Our scrap heap just danced circles around their armada. The bridge hummed with quiet efficiency. Kalen contributed scans, his organic senses complementing mechanical ones. Human-alien synergy forged in pursuit. Odyssey dove deeper, nebula dust scattering signals. Ethel hesitated at the edge, their tech vulnerable to interference. Humans pressed on, unyielding. One final burst from Rios echoed. "This ends soon, Vance." Saria ignored it. The crew, once fearful, now operated as a unit. Earth's descendants, subjugated but unbroken, wielded cunning like a blade. The galaxy underestimated human warfare, relentless, adaptive, lethal in subtlety. Nebula enveloped them, pursuit temporarily foiled. Odyssey powered down non-essentials, conserving fuel at 68%. Repairs continued, tools whining. The field had tested them, and they emerged sharper. Kalen rested but alert. His warnings had saved hull integrity twice. Integration complete, human command, alien insight. Saria plotted contingencies. If they follow, we ambush at the core. Affirmatives rang out. Humans didn't just survive, they countered with ferocity. Ethel's enlightenment paled against Earth's raw tactics. The ship glided silently, ready for the next clash. Pursuit evolved into strategy, human prowess on display. Odyssey dove into the nebula, a sprawling 5 AU cloud of ionized gas and dust. Sensors flickered, overwhelmed by electromagnetic static. The dense haze scrambled Ethel's tracking, cloaking the ship in a glowing shroud. Saria Vance stood in the bridge's tight 12 by 8 meter space, studying a holographic star chart. Her hands adjusted controls, plotting a path through the nebula's core. "Navigate Sector Beta 3, keep emissions low," she ordered, voice sharp. Lieutenant Mara tapped the helm, guiding Odyssey through swirling currents. The crew activated stealth protocols, shutting down non-essential systems. Radiators retracted, reducing thermal signatures to 10%. Kalen, seated near Saria, closed his eyes, veins pulsing softly. "Source. Alive," he whispered, sharing a fragmented memory of organic energy fields, vibrant and green. His words hinted at Zoran's vital matrix, a power the Ethel coveted. Saria nodded, logging the data. "Keep scanning for anomalies. We need cover." The nebula's dust clogged Ethel sensors, but their laser trackers cut through, pulsing at 500 terahertz. Two Ethel scouts, each 300 meters long, locked onto Odyssey's faint trail, closing to 400 kilometers. Rias's voice crackled over comms. "Captain Vance, you cannot hide. Surrender the specimen." Saria ignored him, signaling Torres. "Deploy chaff. Disrupt their lasers." Torres launched a salvo of metallic particles, scattering the beams. Odyssey banked sharply, thrusters firing at 90% capacity. A brief skirmish erupted at the nebula's edge. An Ethel scout fired, its plasma bolt missing by 150 meters, igniting gas in a brief flare. Odyssey countered, releasing a decoy drone that mimicked its signature. The drone exploded under enemy fire, buying seconds. "Damage report," Saria snapped. Mara checked the readouts. "Port shield at 70%. Hull intact." The crew scrambled, repairing microfractures from the asteroid field in 30 minutes. Welders sparked in 0G, sealing cracks with human precision. Unlike Ethel's automated repairs, Odyssey's team improvised, rerouting power through backup conduits. Human grit turned outdated tech into a weapon, outpacing alien perfectionism. Kalen's wounds, now 80% healed, allowed movement. He stood unsteady and pointed at the console. "Fear. There," he said, voice halting but clear. His senses detected an Aethel probe, 200 kilometers starboard. Saria adjusted course, diving deeper into the nebula's core, where density peaked at 10 particles per cubic centimeter. The ship shuddered, gas turbulence rattling bulkheads. Sensors picked up a faint signal, a beacon pulsing 2 light hours away. Saria zoomed the chart. Aethel Research Station, abandoned. Coordinates locked. Torres frowned. "That's a 2-hour burn. Fuel's at 65%. We need supplies and intel," Saria said. "We're going in." The crew prepped for infiltration, loading breaching tools and portable scanners. Odyssey's stealth coding, a patchwork of human ingenuity, absorbed 85% of radar pings. Aethel ships, reliant on flawless tech, struggled in the nebula's chaos. Their formation lagged, spread across 50 kilometers, unable to match Odyssey's erratic maneuvers. Rios hailed again. "Your resistance is futile, Captain. The station is ours." Saria's eyes narrowed. "Then why abandon it, Commander?" She cut the channel, focusing on the helm. Odyssey weaved through gas pockets, using thermal vents to mask exhaust. The crew recalibrated sensors, boosting sensitivity to detect the station's outline. A faint silhouette emerged, a 1-kilometer structure, cold and silent. Kalen touched the console, veins glowing brighter. "Source, inside," he said, projecting an image of organic circuits. Saria logged it, suspecting the station held Zoran tech. Her decision solidified: breach the facility, find answers. Aethel scouts closed to 250 kilometers, their lasers sweeping wider. Odyssey deployed another chaff cloud, scattering their aim. A bolt grazed the hull, scorching a 10-meter strip. Alarms blared, but damage control teams patched it in seconds, rerouting power manually. Human adaptability shone, turning a relic ship into a ghost. "Prepare for hard burn," Saria ordered. Engines roared, pushing 0.11 C. The nebula's density slowed Aethel's pursuit, their ships hesitating at unstable gas zones. Odyssey exploited this, navigating a 20-kilometer vortex to widen the gap. Torres recalibrated weapons, loading hybrid rounds, kinetic slugs with plasma tips. "If they board, we're ready," he said, checking ammo stores. Mara plotted the final approach. Station now 1 light hour out. ETA 2 hours, defenses unknown. Saria studied Kalen, his amber eyes steady. "You feel anything else?" He nodded. "Danger. Close." She trusted his instinct, ordering a sensor sweep. A faint Aethel drone signal appeared, 100 kilometers aft. Odyssey fired a single railgun shot, shattering it. The crew cheered quietly, their edge clear. Humans fought with unpredictability, unlike Aethel's rigid precision. The station loomed on sensors, its sleek design a stark contrast to Odyssey's rust. Saria prepped the away team, arming them with pulse rifles and breaching charges. "We get in, grab fuel and data, get out. No heroics." Mara nodded, checking her gear. "Understood. Let's move." Kalen stood by Saria, his presence now vital. His senses complemented human tech, a fusion the Aethel couldn't predict. The crew's unity tightened, fear replaced by purpose. Humans, once subjugated, now danced through danger, their tactics a brutal art form. Odyssey closed in, nebula cloaking their approach. Aethel ships lingered at the edge, their lasers dimmed by dust. The station's beacon pulsed stronger, a lure or a trap. Saria's bracelet caught her eye, grounding her focus. "Full alert," she said. "We're not prey, we're hunters." The crew locked stations, tools ready. Odyssey glided silently, a shadow in the haze. Aethel's pursuit faltered, their tech no match for human cunning in this chaotic void. The station awaited, its secrets a spark for rebellion. Odyssey glided to the abandoned Aethel Research Station, a 1-kilometer structure gleaming sterile white under nebula glow. Its exterior, smooth and unblemished, masked darkened corridors within. Saria Vance ordered a silent approach, cutting thrusters to 10%. The ship docked at a secondary hatch, 50 meters wide, hidden in shadow. Sensors detected no active defenses, but automated turrets loomed dormant. Stealth mode. No transmissions, Saria commanded, checking her pulse rifle. She led a four-person team, herself, Mara, Torres, and Ensign Cade, equipped with breaching tools and scanners. Kalen, whose wounds are 85% healed, insisted on joining. His veins pulsed faintly, sensing something. Saria nodded. Stay close. They sealed suits, mag boots clicking, and breached the hatch in 20 seconds, cutting through with a plasma torch. Inside, the station's corridors stretched, lined with crystalline panels and organic conduits, faintly luminescent. Air hung stale, systems offline for years. The team moved fast, sweeping rooms with handheld sensors. Labs unfolded, filled with strange devices, vats of biogel, scanners emitting low hums. Kalen froze at a console, veins flaring bright. He touched it, triggering a faint glow. Home, tech, he rasped, projecting a memory of Zoran spires. Saria logged the reaction. Focus, find the main server. They navigated deeper, bypassing locked doors with bypass codes hacked in 90 seconds. The central chamber, a 30-meter dome, housed the server, a towering cylinder pulsing faintly. Torres plugged in a decryption rig, cracking security in 3 minutes. Data streamed, 10 terabytes of encrypted files downloading in 10 minutes. Saria scanned preliminary logs, spotting references to vital matrix and Zoran experiments. Her jaw tightened. The Aethel's narrative unraveled. Alarms shrieked suddenly, red lights flashing. Aethel ships, 200 clicks out, Mara reported via comms, monitoring from Odyssey. The enemy had traced their entry, sensors piercing nebula interference. Saria checked the timer. 5 minutes until data transfer completed. Defensive positions, she ordered. The team barricaded the chamber, stacking crates for cover. Torres rigged a proximity mine at the corridor's mouth. Kalen pointed to a vent. Drones, coming! His senses caught their hum, 100 meters away. 2 Aethel drones, each 2 meters wide, zipped into view, lasers charging. Saria fired first, pulse rounds tearing through one drone's casing. It exploded in sparks, crashing. Cade downed the second with a precise shot, shrapnel scattering. Human marksmanship, honed on Earth's ranges, outpaced automated precision. Outside, 3 Aethel scout ships, 150 meters each, encircled the station. Their lasers carved the hull, targeting Odyssey's dock. Mara relayed, shields at 60%. They're probing weaknesses. Saria signaled Odyssey. Return fire. Kinetic rounds, low yield. The ship's railguns spat slugs, one striking an Aethel scout, disabling his thrusters. The enemy pulled back 50 kilometers, wary of Odyssey's unpredictable salvos. Inside, the server hummed, 80% downloaded. Kalen guarded the console, veins glowing as he interfaced, speeding the transfer. Truth? Here, he said, voice steadier. Saria glimpsed logs, Zoran genocide, and Aethel's theft of organic tech. Her suspicions hardened. The Council's history was a lie. Aethel breached the outer hull, boots echoing 200 meters off. Saria's team prepped charges, rigging lab equipment to overload. We hold until the data's ours, she said. Torres planted a second mine. It's a blast radius of 10 meters. 4 Aethel soldiers, clad in silver suits, stormed the corridor. Saria's squad opened fire, pulse rifles flashing. 2 enemies fell, armor pierced by human-designed rounds, blending kinetic force with plasma burn. The others retreated, pinned by the mine's detonation, which collapsed a 5-meter section. Rios's voice hacked the station's comms. Captain Vance, you steal what you cannot comprehend. Surrender now, Saria responded, voice cold. We comprehend enough, Commander. Your secrets aren't safe. She cut the feed, focusing on the server. Download hit 95%. Kalen's hands glowed, stabilizing the connection. His Zoran instincts meshed with human tech, a hybrid edge the Aethel lacked. Their soldiers relied on flawless systems. Humans thrived on improvisation. An explosion rocked the station, Aethel lasers breaching another sector. Mara reported, Odyssey's hull is at 90% integrity. We need to move. 2 minutes, Saria said, rifle ready. The team held the chamber, repelling a second drone wave. Cade lobbed an EMP grenade, frying 3 drones in a 15-meter radius. Human tactics, chaotic, relentless, kept the enemy at bay. The server pinged completion. Torres yanked the drive, securing it in a shielded case. Saria ordered, "Fall back, rig the core to blow." Cade planted charges on the server's power unit, set for 60 seconds. The team sprinted, Kalen keeping pace despite pain. Ethel troops pursued, lasers searing walls. Saria's squad returned fire, dropping another soldier with a headshot. Earth's warriors, trained in scarcity, wielded precision like a blade. They reached the hatch, Odyssey's ramp open. The station quaked as charges detonated, a fireball consuming the chamber. Debris clouded sensors, masking their exit. Odyssey undocked, thrusters flaring at 95%. Ethel ships fired blindly, missing by 300 meters. Saria strapped in, drive secured. Full burn, nebula core. The ship surged, hitting 0.09 C, weaving through gas clouds. Ethel's scouts lagged, their formation disrupted by the blast. Kalen sat beside her, veins dimming. "Truth. Saved," he said, pointing to the drive. Saria nodded, seeing the Zoran boys' resolve mirror her own. Humans and their allies turned scraps into victory, outwitting a superior foe. The nebula cloaked them, Ethel's signals fading. Odyssey's crew patched hull damage, tools humming, fuel held at 62%, enough for one more gambit. Saria reviewed the data, proof of Ethel's crimes. The galaxy's lies crumbled, and humans held the spark to ignite rebellion. Saria Vance plugged the drive into Odyssey's auxiliary console, data streaming across screens in the station's dim chamber. Files decrypted rapidly, revealing logs from 20 years prior. Ethel fleets bombarded Zoran Prime, vaporizing cities in coordinated strikes. Casualties mounted to 90% of the population, survivors scattered or captured. Kalen's profile flashed. Last Prince of Zoran escaped in a pod from the planet's core collapse. She cross-referenced entries. Ethel engineers dissected vital matrix tech, organic energy matrices that bonded life to machines. This stolen power fueled their enlightenment, boosting neural networks and manipulating Galactic Council votes. Zoran aggression, fabricated reports, doctored hollows showing staged attacks to justify the genocide. Saria's hands moved fast, copying files to encrypted storage. "Torres, verify authenticity. Cross-check timestamps." Torres nodded, running algorithms. "Confirmed. No alterations. This is damning." Kalen stood beside her, veins surging bright as he interfaced with the console. His touch unlocked hidden partitions, and the data flowed more smoothly. "Prince. Me," he said, voice firm. He projected images, palaces crumbling, Ethel ships raining fire. Saria gripped his shoulder briefly. "We know now. You're no savage." The station shuddered, alarms blaring. Ethel scouts intensified assault, phaser cannons breaching outer doors 100 meters away. Metal twisted, sparks flying as bulkheads gave way. Mara reported from Odyssey, 3 ships closing, shields at 50%. "Collect all evidence. Encode it," Saria ordered. The team compressed data into a 5-terabyte crystal drive, layering quantum encryption. Human code layered with redundancies outstripped Ethel's predictable algorithms. Kalen extended his hand, veins linking to the station's systems. He hacked overrides in 2 minutes, rerouting power to auxiliary vents. Doors sealed temporarily, buying time. "Path clear," he rasped, mapping an escape route through service tunnels. Saria scanned the layout. "We use the station as bait, rig reactors to overload on our signal." Cade planted charges on the core, timers set for 10 minutes. The crew gathered gear, rifles charged. Ethel troops advanced, lasers cutting through barriers. Saria's squad held the line, firing suppressive bursts. 2 enemies dropped, armor failing against hybrid rounds. Tension peaked as breaches multiplied. "Move out," Saria commanded. The team retreated in formation, Kalen at the center. He disrupted security drones with energy pulses, frying circuits mid-air. Odyssey's ramp waited, engines humming at 80%. Ethel cannons hammered the hull, rocking the dock. Mara laid covering fire from the ship, railguns shredding an incoming shuttle. Saria ushered Kalen aboard first, then covered the rear. Detonate on my mark. Charges blew, station sections erupting in chain reactions. The debris field expanded, scattering the Aethel formation across 2 kilometers. The ship undocked, thrusters pushing 0.1 C. Aethel ships regrouped, but the blast's EMP wave jammed their sensors for 60 seconds. Odyssey slipped into nebula fringes, trail masked by ionized gas. Rias's hail pierced the static. You've stolen nothing but your doom, Vance. Saria muted him, securing the drive. We have proof. The galaxy's lies end here. Torres analyzed further logs. Council manipulated for decades. Aethel pulled strings. Kalen interfaced with Odyssey's systems, boosting stealth by 20% using vital matrix echoes. His royal heritage unlocked latent abilities, fusing with human tech seamlessly. The crew repaired breach points, welding plates under pressure. Human efficiency shone, multitasking repairs while plotting evasive courses. Aethel, bound by protocols, hesitated in the debris. Saria outlined the plan. We lure them deeper, then trigger the station's full meltdown. Mara calibrated weapons. Charges primed, yield equivalent to 50 megatons. Kalen nodded, vein steady. Truth. Weapon. Odyssey maneuvered, drawing Aethel into position. Scouts bit, closing to 300 kilometers. Saria triggered the remote station reactors, critical, exploding in a fireball that engulfed 2 enemy vessels. Shrapnel rained, Odyssey evading with precision rolls. The 3rd scout limped away, damaged. Human tactics, blending deception and raw power, turned a derelict base into a trap. Data secure, Saria reviewed Zoran's files. Genocide details emerged, experiments on captives, tech extraction via vivisection. Aethel's civilization exposed as brutality cloaked in light. The ship stabilized with fuel at 55%. Crew rotated shifts, vigilance high. Kalen contributed scans, his senses detecting faint pursuits. Saria stored the drive in a shielded vault. This changes everything. We're not running, we're fighting back. Affirmatives echoed. Humans, once tamed, wielded truth like a blade. Aethel's secrets unraveled. Their empire's foundation cracked. Odyssey pressed on, nebula cloaking their path. Tension built toward climax, preparations complete. The prince's survival ignited rebellion, human cunning the fuel. Saria Vance stood on Odyssey's bridge, the crystal drive's data streaming across screens. Kalen, veins ablaze, touched the console, projecting vivid images into her mind. Zoran primes fall, Aethel ships burning oceans, a royal pod fleeing. Prince, he said, voice steady, eyes blazing amber. The logs confirmed it. Kalen, sole heir, carried proof of Aethel's genocide. Their enlightened empire was a lie, built on stolen tech and council puppets. Saria's hands flew over controls, cross-referencing files. The council's been their tool for 20 years. We're exposing it. Mara's voice cut through. Aethel ships closing, 150 clicks, lasers charging. 3 scout vessels, each 200 meters long, tightened their net. Odyssey sensors blared, detecting energy spikes. Saria made the call. Rig the station's core for overload. We turn their trap against them. Cade and Torres sprinted to the reactor bay 50 meters below. They planted fusion charges, timers set for 2 minutes, wiring them to the station's 500-megawatt core. Laser fire echoed, Aethel troops breaching corridors 100 meters away. The crew returned fire, pulse rifles dropping 2 soldiers in seconds. Human precision, honed in Earth's wars, outmatched automated foes. Kalen hacked the station's grid, rerouting power to overload sensors. His veins pulsed, syncing with Zoran tech remnants. Chaos. Now, he said, triggering false readings that scrambled Aethel's targeting for 30 seconds. Saria signaled the team. Back to Odyssey, move! They ran, boots pounding, dodging laser burns. An Aethel drone exploded under Cade's EMP grenade, shrapnel scattering across a 10-meter radius. The team reached the ramp, Odyssey's engines roaring at 90%. Saria strapped in, checking the timer, 45 seconds to detonation. Full burn, she ordered. Odyssey launched, hitting 0.2C, diving into deep space. The station erupted behind, a 50-megaton blast sending shockwaves. Two Aethel scouts vanished in the fireball, their hulls shredded. Debris spread across 3 kilometers, clogging sensors. The third scout, damaged, lagged 400 kilometers back. Rias's hologram flickered on, face rigid. You destroy only yourselves, Vance. The Council will hunt you. Saria leaned forward. Your council's a sham, Rias. We have the truth. She cut the feed, plotting a course through nebula remnants. Odyssey's shields held at 45%, hulls scorched but intact. The crew cheered, tools clattering as they patched leaks. Human ingenuity shone, adapting under fire, turning a derelict station into a weapon. Aethel's rigid tactics crumbled against unpredictable defiance. Kalen stood firm, no longer the scared boy. Fight with you, he said, veins steady. His growth mirrored humanity's, resilient, forged in crisis. Saria nodded, seeing an ally, not a victim. Torres reported, drives secure, data intact, fuel at 50%. Mara adjusted thrusters, weaving through debris. Rias is regrouping. He's 600 clicks out. Saria scanned the logs again. Aethel's manipulation ran deep. Council edicts, forged histories, all masked their theft of vital matrix. The truth now in human hands was a blade sharper than any cannon. The galaxy expected human submission. Instead, they'd struck a blow. Arm railguns, load hybrid rounds, Saria ordered. The crew complied, chambers clicking. Odyssey's weapons, outdated but versatile, blended kinetic slugs with plasma tips, a human innovation no alien matched. Aethel's remaining scout fired, missing by 200 meters. Odyssey countered, a single railgun shot piercing its engine core. The ship spun, crippled, trailing plasma. Humans fought with brutal efficiency, exploiting every weakness. Kalen interfaced with navigation, boosting sensor range by 15%. His Zoran senses, paired with human tech, gave Odyssey an edge. The crew recalibrated shields, diverting power from lights to reinforce hull integrity. Mara reported, clear of debris, nebula core ahead. Saria locked coordinates. Push to 0.15C. We lose them there. Odyssey surged, engines straining. Aethel's pursuit faltered, their ship slowed by damage. Rias hailed again, voice colder. You've doomed your species, Captain. Saria ignored him, focusing on the helm. The crew's unity solidified. Fear burned away. Humans, once cowed, now wield intellect and morality as weapons. Aethel's civilization was exposed, tyrants cloaked in light, undone by a relic ship and a boy's truth. Kalen monitored energy flows, warning of a faint Aethel signal 500 kilometers behind. They follow, he said, ready to fight. Saria checked the drive. This data ends their lies. We broadcast when ready. The crew prepped for deep space, repairing systems mid-flight. Welders sparked, sealing micro-breaches. Fuel dropped to 48%, but the nebula's core loomed, offering cover. Odyssey danced through gas clouds, a ghost in the void. Aethel's superiority cracked, their flawless fleet outmaneuvered by human cunning. The blast had bought time, but the war was on. Saria gripped her bracelet, resolve ironclad. We're not prey, we're the spark. Affirmatives rang out. Kalen's eyes met hers, a warrior born. The truth, their greatest weapon, reshaped the galaxy's future. Odyssey pressed on, ready for the final stand. Odyssey streaked through deep space, 10 AU from the station's debris field. The ship stabilized at 0.08C, hull patches holding firm. Saria Vance secured the crystal drive, then activated Odyssey's encrypted broadcaster. She encoded the data burst, logs of Aethel's genocide, vital matrix theft, and council manipulation, targeting council relays and neutral civilization hubs. Transmit on all frequencies. Let them choke on the truth, she ordered, voice clipped. Torres executed, sending the packet at 5 terabits per second. The signal pierced subspace, reaching council core worlds in 20 minutes. Kalen monitored feedback, veins pulsing as he boosted the relay. Message sent, he said, speech now fluid, his amber eyes sharp. On the council's orbital citadel, 15 light-years away, alarms blared in the Grand Chamber. Holographic feeds lit up with Odyssey's data dump. Aethel delegates, pale and composed, froze as evidence streamed. Footage of Zoran worlds burning, falsified histories exposed. Council members, a mix of species, murmured in shock. "Impossible," one hissed, tentacles twitching. Rias's proxy appeared, face a mask. "This is forgery. Vance must be eliminated." The chamber erupted in debate. Aethel reps pushed a motion. Deploy hunter fleets, authorize lethal force. Votes tallied in 10 minutes, unanimous. A galaxy-wide warrant was issued, broadcasting to all sectors. Odyssey and crew, wanted for treason, reward 50 million credits. Drones launched to track subspace echoes, fleets mobilizing from core bases. Back on Odyssey, Mara intercepted the warrant mid-jump. "Council's branded us. Full hunt authorized. They're coming hard." Saria scanned the alert, jaw set. "They move fast. Means we're a threat." The crew gathered, faces grim but resolute. Fuel at 42%, they plotted evasion. Ahead for the void expanse, a barren sector, 3 light-years out. No patrols, just dust and dead stars. Kalen nodded, interfacing with navigation. "Hide. There." His growth showed, once timid, now a strategist, plotting routes with Zoran instincts. Odyssey altered course, thrusters firing in a 180-degree pivot. The void expanse loomed, a 5 AU wasteland of rogue asteroids and radiation pockets. The ship dove in, sensors masking emissions to 5%. Aethel scouts pinged distant, 800 kilometers back, but the expanse's interference jammed their locks. The crew prepped defenses, loading railguns with 40 hybrid rounds. Torres encrypted a counter-broadcast to fringe worlds, seeding doubt. "Let the truth spread like a virus," he said, tools humming. Saria and Kalen stood at the viewport, alliance solidified. "You're no longer just a survivor," she told him. "You're the key." Kalen's veins glowed softly. "We end them." The warrant's echo reached Odyssey's comms, and images of Saria flashed galaxy-wide, labeled terrorist. The crew, once skeptical, now bonded in defiance. Cade repaired a thruster, grinning. "From patrol to revolutionaries, humans don't break easily." Saria reviewed the drive's copies, distributing backups. The evidence held hope. Expose Aethel's empire. Rally suppressed species. She addressed the team. "We're outlaws, but with this, we topple tyrants." As Odyssey burrowed deeper into the expanse, radiation storms battered shields at 70%. Aethel fleets spread across sectors, but the void's chaos hid them. A faint signal from a neutral colony responded to their broadcast. Whispers of support. Kalen contributed scans, detecting safe pockets amid hazards. His maturity shone, from fear to fierce ally. "Fight, for all," he said, projecting visions of a free galaxy. The crew rotated watches, tools clattering in repairs. Fuel stabilized at 40%, rationed for a long haul. Saria's bracelet caught light, reminding her of lost kin. Humanity's edge, cunning, and morality turned subjugation into strength. Mara reported, "No tails within 1,000 clicks. We're ghosts." Saria nodded, prepping Phase 2. Infiltrate relay stations, amplify the data. The void offered time to plan, a barren refuge for rebellion. She gathered the crew one last time. History's penned by winners, twisted with lies. Aethel wrote us as weak, Zoran's as beasts. But real kindness isn't polished. It's raw, defiant, like us holding this truth. We stand against their empire, not for revenge, but because deceit chains worlds. Our oath, expose it all, no matter the hunt. We're humanity's spark, and will burn their shadows away. Her words resonated, a vow in the void. Kalen echoed, "Oath, sworn." The crew affirmed, tools down, resolve up. Odyssey glided silently, a relic reborn. The warrant chased, but truth outran it. In the expanse's heart, they plotted war. The journey, fraught with trials, had just ignited.